All right, guys, welcome back. So I have read all the comments from Hayabusa Pistons Part 1, and I have learned from many of you guys that actually know about this kind of stuff that what we want to do with these pistons is actually the wrong way to go about doing the job. So I relayed all of that to Rodney. I called him and I said, hey, it might be worth your while to go over there to the video and read the comments from everybody that's been leaving comments, because they're saying that we shouldn't cut these pistons. That's the wrong way to do the job. There's other ways you should do that. For one, we already acknowledged that we should have had, whenever the pistons, the cylinders were bored, they should have had the pistons there so that they could match them correctly, which he didn't have the pistons when he had it done. Somebody even said, I think it was Philip, said that whoever bored that shouldn't have bored it without having the pistons to match it. So that was another mistake that somebody made there. But regardless, that's not my world. You know, I don't know that type of work. I know lathe and mill work, and that to me was really the most important part of this video series I wanted to do, was taking something, no matter what it is, and trying to figure out a way to hold it to do the machine work. Because this piston, and any piston for that matter, is tough to hold. And I don't know all of the tricks of the trade out there that people use for holding pistons. You know, I know you have the wrist pin hole there where you can set up a fixture for this to go on and a wrist pin to go through. You know, that's one way. There's a lot of different ways you can do it. Somebody was even saying something about the back of the skirts here are machined to be able to fit something there to hold it, which I wasn't looking at that, because I only see a couple areas here that is machined, which is on the inside of the skirts. It's not touching out here. So after I read that comment, I was thinking maybe you could take a piece of material, chuck it up in the lathe and skin it so that this just fits on there, and maybe just push on it with something flat and friction drive it. And I think that would probably work fine too, especially since you would only be taking a couple thousandths off of it. What we were doing there. But regardless, as I said, I wanted to try to come up with a way and share with you more machining techniques to use around the shop. A lot of guys don't have the experience doing this kind of stuff, so that's what I enjoy to show, is how to do different things. You know, how to create a fixture to hold what you need to hold. So we decided not to, or Rodney has decided he's not going to have me cut these. He's going to go ahead and have the cylinder honed, whatever he's got to do to make the job right. But I would like to go ahead and continue showing what I was wanting to show you, which is finishing out the fixture and seeing how it holds the piston. I'd still like to show you that. We just won't cut the piston. I was even going to show you another technique that you can use on the compound. Use your compound end feed to make your fine adjustments instead of using the cross dial. So let's go on down into the Monarch, get this chucked up indicated, and we'll get it bored and see if it holds this piston the way that I was hoping that it would. All right, we got the forge all set, and we're not going to go in there very far. I'm just counting the lines here, so I'll probably go back, say 3 lines on the jaw. And then I look at the top jaw and get it the same way, and then look down here on each side and just try to get it even. Just lightly snug it up. And we'll start with the face first. I'm going to use this indicator right here. This is one that I just got back from Mark Rakowski, MR Tool Repair. I had him refurbish it. I found this indicator at work in a box of junk, and it was destroyed. The stem right here, this was messed up. It was bent. The bezel was gone. I'm sorry, the crystal was gone. Everything was dirty, and it was not working right. And I sent it to him. He got it fixed up, looking and functioning like a brand new indicator. So I got a few of them, and I'll be showcasing a few of those on another video coming real soon. So I put the wide radius tip on the end of it, because we're going to be skating across that split right there. Move those numbers around so it's a little easier for you guys to follow along. Okay. That's within 2 right there. Alright, that's a thou. Alright, I think that's going to be good enough for the face for now. And we'll go ahead and move to our OD here. Alright, I think that's going to be good enough. We're going to be machining the bore, so it doesn't matter if it's running out just a little bit. We'll go ahead and check our face one more time, make sure we didn't move it too bad, and we can take a nice little skim cut on the face. Moved it a little bit. That's about 3, maybe 3 thou. Them jaws probably got it. Yeah. So we'll leave it right there, and we'll just take a light face cut and start truing the bore. Now I'm going to do it with I'm going to leave the bolt out, and that way we'll bore it to the size we want, and then you put the bolt in there and it should pinch it. So I still got the compound was swung around when I started this job from that left-handed thread that I was doing. So I swung it back around to the right side, and I'm going to get the tool post indicated again. Just thought I'd go ahead and show you. You can start by eyeball, getting it straight as you can by sight. Let's see how close I got it. All right, little off, little off. That looks close enough for what we need. That'll work. Alright, we got our bar set up. I've got the depth set. I'm going a 1/2 inch deep on it. We've already got everything touched off, and we're ready to start cutting. So we got to take about 3/4 of an inch out of the bore. We'll just take, let's start with 100 thousandths. That'll probably be a good cut to use right there. Alright, we'll just keep doing this and get it roughed out. Let's see what the piston's measuring now. About 246. .246 is what I'm getting. Yeah, 3.246. So let's try to get our bore machine to maybe 246 and a half, 247. Try to hit it within a thousandths. I'm going to use telescope gauges for this since I've got enough room in there to use them. We're about 221 right now. About 25 thousandths or so. We'll sneak up on it. We'll just take we'll take 10 thousandths here, and then we'll mic it again. We'll probably make like 3 passes on this. Okay, we got a decent finish there too. .33. All right, let's take another 10. Go ahead and try to maybe improve our finish just a little bit with just a dab of cutting oil. Just starting to get into those threads there, what I was expecting. All right, let's see if we can hit our target. It's not going to be much. We need 1, 2, 3, maybe 3 to 4 thousandths. Let's go ahead and double check ourselves. See if we get a consistent reading here. Okay. We really need about 3 thousandths. And what I'm doing is I'm double checking the piston again and making sure that I have my sizes correct, that I'm not thinking of the wrong size. Okay. That's not much with that insert tool, so what I want to do is, before I even dial it in, I want to see if it's going to cut. Yeah, see, it's cutting a little there. And that may be taking what we need. Not quite, but almost. So we need 2 thousandths. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and dial in 2, and hopefully that'll still cut where we need it to. On these kind of insert tools like this, you know, you get push off because of the negative rake and the dullness on the edge, so it reacts a little different sometimes. There's 2. I'm going to check it before I face the back side there. Right at it. We're gonna have to probably skim it again. Let me double check it, and then I'll see if I can get that piston to fit. We're a few tenths off. I'm not quite to the 46 mark. So it would probably go in there, but I don't want to mess it up, the surface. Yeah, it's you can see how it's rocking there. It's 46 on, looks like here and here. Let's see if we can get about a half a thou or so. Yep, still needs a little bit. Still tighter than what I want it to be. I have to just keep taking it out. I'm at 46, so it's basically what it is it's still an interference fit right now because it's metal to metal. So you got to have a little bit of clearance so that it'll slide through there. There we go. All right, it's working its way up in there now. Really close. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to let it skim again, and I'm going to face the back side off. And what I got to do is I got to change the feed direction there. Just making sure there ain't no dust on it, you know, metal chips. Alright, there she is. Let me find my bolt here. We'll see if it'll tighten up. There it is, it's got it. Just going to go ahead and hit the chamfers like it needs to be. All right, well, I went ahead and chamfered it. Just kind of did a little bit of deburring, and I've got it pushed back in there with the bolt tight, and I think we got success on our fixture here. It may be a little hard to indicate though because of it not being machined round. I guess I could just check the peaks and let's see what it does. So from side to side, it's got about right at 4 thousandths difference. So it's not actually spinning directly in the center. I would have had to true that up a little bit more if I would have had to cut it. This is another way that you can set up to do a precision cut. If you got a size that you really need to sneak up on and hit a really close tolerance, say like a bearing fit or something like this, you know, you got a couple thousandths that you just need to remove. You can set you up an indicator. You set your compound over here on 45 degrees, or you can come on around. It actually makes it even easier if you come around a little bit further. I just set it at 45. And I've got a 10th indicator on here. This is one of my stare at 10th indicators. And what you can do, this is kind of like Heath Fender, I believe he calls it, like, you know, it's a dashboard. It's easier to read this dial here than to try to sneak up on with these dials here. So you can come over here and you can just lightly start touching that dial, and you can see this dial moving, and you can keep up with that. But you got to remember that you got to double it, so because this is only moving one side. So if you move that thing 2/10 here, it's actually going to remove 4/10 on your part. But that's just an easier way to remove a very minute amount of material each pass without risking dial in a thousandths here or a thousandths there, and then it ended up taking more than you want. You can do the same thing. I mean, you can mess with this dial right here and do the same thing. Having a 10th indicator really helps on a situation like that. You can just really fine-tune those readings right there. So that's just another way. This was how I planned on cutting that if we did that. So I wanted to share it with you anyway, because maybe this will help you out sometime in the future. So that's going to finish up this video here. I wanted to go ahead and finish out what I was doing to show you the fixture that I had in mind to be able to hold this piston, and I think it worked out pretty good. So just keep that in mind. If you ever have something funky like that you got to hold, you take a piece of steel and modify it and make it as a clamp system, kind of like a collet. So it was a learning experience for all of us, I think, and I really appreciate the comments that you guys have been giving me, the constructive criticism about stuff like this. You know, again, this is not in the automotive world, in the engine parts world, that's not something that I've dealt very much with. So the processes that are involved in making parts like a piston and the reason why they're machined the way they are is not something that I've been around. I don't have a lot of knowledge on that. So it was great hearing from you guys that do live that world, you know, and share that knowledge with me. That way I'm not making a mistake and costing Rodney a mistake on his end too. So again, he said he's going to go ahead and grab these, and I believe he said he'll go ahead and see about having the cylinders match bored to it, or match honed, something like that. So anyway, that's going to be it. I guess we'll see you on the next job. All right.